Hello dear friends, this is your personal English coach Divyam here, and today I'm gonna teach you modals. Now, before getting into the details of modals, I just want to make sure if you have modals in your syllabus. Now I'm referring this website jagranjosh.com to refer to your syllabus and make videos out of this. In case you feel that this is not the right syllabus and there is something different in your syllabus, do let me know and I will make a video of that topic. Having said that, let us jump into modals. So, as it's already written on the screen, modals are nothing but auxiliary verb or helping verb that is used to express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. Now, first, you should be very clear that modals are verbs. There are many types of verbs. For example, action verbs, state verbs, etc. etc. And one of the type is modal verbs. Now, why are they called helping verb? Because these are the verbs that help the actual verb. And when we talk about modals, modals are spoken depending on the mood of a person. So, having said that, let us jump into 12 most commonly used modals. Can, could, may, might, must, must not, or may not, need not, ought to, shall, should, will, and would. These are the most commonly used modals. Let's study each modal with examples. Let's talk about can. Can is used for 6 reasons. For showing ability to do something in the present. So if you think you can do something in present, you use can. For example, if you have the ability to speak English, you say, I can speak English, I can run, I can jog, I can dance. For permission on to do something in the present. So if you're asking for permission from your mom or from your dad or from the teacher, you definitely can use can. Can I go to the cinema? Can I go to drink water? Can I go to the toilet? Can I borrow your book? To show request. That's number 3. If you're requesting for something, you use can. So, can you wait a moment, please? Can you please lend me your bike? Can you please wait outside for a moment? Number 4 is offer. I can lend you my car till tomorrow. So you're making an offer with your friend that okay, I can give you my car till tomorrow. You can drive, you can go for a trip, you can go for a picnic. So to make an offer, you use can. Suggestion. If you're suggesting something to your friend or your teacher or your neighbor, you use can. Can we visit grandma at the weekend? So you're asking your parents if you can visit your grandma. To show possibility, it can get very hot in Arizona. So it is very possible that it will get hotter in Arizona. You're showing something that is possible. So these are the cases you use can. Let's jump on to the next modal. Could. Could shows the ability to do something in the past, unlike can. So, I could speak English. So could, as compared to can, is used for referring something, for referring an ability to do something in the past. So I could speak English, I could jog, I could sing, etc. Second, permission to do something in the past. I could go to the cinema. The substitute form is to be allowed to. So if you're taking permission to do something in the past, you use could. I could go to the cinema. Polite question is number 3. Could I go to the cinema, please? So here, if you're using can, it might not sound very polite, but could ensures that you're being very polite while asking a question. Could I go to the cinema, please? Could I drink water, please? Could you please shut the door? For making a polite request, could you wait a moment, please? Could you please talk softly? Fifth, polite offer. I could lend you my car till tomorrow. So, unlike using can, how did we use can? Recall from the previous slide. Can I lend your car? Unlike can, could is used to make a polite offer. I could lend you my car till tomorrow. So always remember, if you want to be polite, be humble, be generous, use could. Sixth is polite suggestion. Could we wait or could we visit grandma at the weekend? And if you want to show a possibility, you can also use could. It could get very hot in Montana. Remember, for expressing the same feeling, you can use different modals. It's only the difference of being polite or being straight. Having said that, let's jump on to the next modal, that is may. May is used for three things to show possibility. For example, if the weather is cloudy and if you want to tell someone that it might rain or it may rain today, you use may. It may be difficult for you to clear the exam as you have not studied hard. It may be difficult for you to lose weight as you have not followed a strict diet. Second is asking for permission to do something in the present. May I go to the toilet? May I go to the cinema? May I lend you a book, please? May I borrow a pen? And third is a polite suggestion. For example, may I help you? This is the most commonly used phrase in English. May I help you? May I please talk to you for a minute? Let's talk about might. Might shows possibility, less possible than may. Now, when you say it may rain today, so the chances of raining are more when you say may as compared to might. So when you say it might rain today, so in this case the possibility to rain might not be that strong. Second is to make a hesitant offer. Might I help you? So think of a scenario where a person is on the road and the person has suffered or incurred puncture in his bike. There's nobody on the road, it's lonely, it's deserted. You are passing by, you have your own bike and you also have the tools to fix the puncture. So because he is a stranger, you're really hesitant to make an offer. What do you say? You say, might I help you? Let's talk about must. Must is used for three things basically. Force or necessity. Now, if something is really mandatory, something is unavoidable, you use must. I must go to the supermarket today because it will not be open tomorrow. Possibility. To show possibility, that's the second one. You must be tired. So it is very possible that you're tired because you just came after running a marathon. You must work hard or else you will fail. Third is to advise or to recommend. If you want to advise someone or if you want to recommend something to someone, you use must. You must see the new film with Brad Pitt. You must be in formals on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. You must have some discipline in the class. You must not put on black shoes on Friday. Let's talk about the negation, that is, must not or may not. This is only used for prohibition. But the difference between must and may is when you use must, it's a little stronger than using may. You must not work hard. You must not work on dad's computer. You may not work on dad's computer. So, if there's a friend who's come over to your house for doing some homework and your friend is a little notorious and he is sitting on your dad's computer, so what do you say? You must not work on my dad's computer. You may not work on my dad's computer. So, the stronger feeling is with must. Let's talk about need not. Again, when we use not, it is negation. We use need not when something is unnecessary or not necessary. For example, I need not go to the supermarket. We're going to the restaurant tonight. So, I need not go to the supermarket because we're going to the restaurant tonight and I do not need to bring any vegetables so that. So, you're aware that we're already going to the hotel, so we don't need to cook and so we don't need to bring vegetables from the supermarket. So, when something is not necessary, you use need not. You need not bring your books and pens because the examination is online. You need not wear formal clothes on Friday because Friday is an informal day. Let's talk about ought to. Ought to is rarely used these days. It was used in traditional English, and ought to is similar to should, but it sounds a little less subjective. This is used in two cases. One is to advise someone. So if you want to advise your little sister or brother for something, you use ought. So if your sister is driving, you advise her and say, you ought to drive carefully in bad weather, sister, or you'll meet with an accident. Ought to is also used to show obligation. You ought to switch off the light when you leave the room. You ought to be disciplined in the class. You ought to work hard if you want to succeed. You ought to work 6 days in a week if you want to be a successful runner. Let's talk about shall. Shall, when we talk about modals, is only used for suggestion. Shall I carry your bag? Shall I drink water from your bottle? Shall we go to the cinema today? Shall we go to the club today? Shall we play cricket today? Let's talk about should. Should is used in two cases. One is to advise. So you must have heard this word very often. You should drive carefully in bad weather. You should wear informals on Saturday. You should never drink alcohol. You should never be addicted to drugs. You should never say bad words because it will ruin your own impression. Second is to show obligation. You should switch off the light when you leave the room. So, obligation is something that you should do. That is something mandatory. So, this word is used very often in schools, universities, etc. Or even the mothers use it very often. You should switch off the light when you leave the room is a good example. Let's talk about will. Will is used for 5 things: to show wish, request, demand, order. So the example is, will you please shut the door? But this one is less polite than would. Always remember, would and could show politeness. Will and can are a little less polite. So if you want to show your wish, request, demand, or order, you use will. Will you please bring that book to me? Will you please talk softly? Will you please keep quiet? I'm very sure that your teacher speaks this very often. Will is also used for prediction and assumption. I think it will rain on Friday. So, you're assuming that it will rain. You're predicting that it will rain. I think India will win the match. I think the hockey team is doing good and it will win. To make a promise. I will stop smoking from tomorrow. I will avoid drinking alcohol. So, if you are promising someone, you use will. So you see, in all the models, it is all dependent on the mood of the person speaking. If you're making a spontaneous decision, you use will. For example, can somebody drive me to the station? I will. So, just imagine a situation where your friend is in the class and his parents are not here yet. So he comes to you and asks you, can you please drive me to home? What do you say? I will. So you're making a decision spontaneously. For habits, she's strange. She'll sit for hours without talking. So when you're referring to habits, you use will. She will go to the gym at 6 p.m. today. She will eat only muesli. She will eat only chocos. She will drink water at 10 p.m. sharp. Let's talk about would. Would is used in two cases. First is to wish or request. As I said in the earlier slide, would बाद में करेंगे बाद में हाँ चलेगा Would you please shut the door? Second is for habits in the past. So, for example, sometimes he would bring me some flowers. This is more polite. Would you please shut the door? Or would you shut the door, please? Would you mind taking me to the school along with you? Would you please introduce me to your parents? These were all for the first example. If you're talking or if you're referring to the habits in the past, you say, sometimes he would bring me some flowers. Often, he would speak fast. The news would sometimes scare people. Friends, I have also made some quizzes for you. All I want you to do is pause this video and try to fill in the blanks. Do not refer the previous slides. Try to recall whatever we studied so far and fill in this paragraph. Once you're done, I also want you to fill the second paragraph. Once you're done with the second paragraph, I have written the answer for the first one. You can ignore this slide. Finally, there are some multiple choice questions to make sure that you have studied well. Be honest. Write your answers honestly and generously. Do not cheat. And once done, write your answers in the comment section and I will be happy to correct and check. If you have doubts, please write them in the comment section. Do subscribe so that you'll get notified when I upload my next grammar sessions. I hope you've understood modals, and if you have any special request apart from your syllabus in your English course, I will be very happy to help you. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice day.